Drop your predictions in the comments. Seriously, what do y'all think is about to happen on the 6th? Are we finally seeing handcuffs? Is that arrest warrant about to drop this Friday? Is this the day everything catches up to her? Or is she going to pull that same old, I plead the fifth routine and dance around every single question again? Maybe she shows up with a stack of random papers, waving them around like, oh, it was all just a misunderstanding. You think that's what's about to go down? 'Cause I don't. Not this time. But hey, sound off below. Let's see who's really paying attention and who's still living in fantasy land. Now buckle up, 'cause this next part, Wild doesn't even cover it. There's been a fire. And no, not a metaphorical one. A real, literal fire at the car wash owned by none other than Kamal Woods. For those who don't know, that's Tiffany Henyard's man. Yup, that Tiffany, Miss Super Mayor herself. The twist? Kamal's already married. Whole wife at home. But that hasn't stopped the two of them from playing house, because people have been whispering for months that Tiffany's been living upstairs in that same car wash building. Allegedly, that S.O. hears the scene. You got smoke rising in the back lot of that exact building. And from what it looks like, this wasn't no random accident. It wasn't some candle falling over or a wire sparking. Nah, that fire looked intentional. Like somebody was trying to get rid of something. And all this just days before Tiffany's supposed to be in court with documents. Real paperwork. But instead of showing up with files, the only thing showing up that day was smoke. Big, heavy clouds of it. You tell me, how does that make sense? If you're grilling, you can tell. Smoke from burgers or chicken. It's got that backyard cookout smell. But witnesses said this wasn't that. They said it smelled like burning paper. Which begs the question, what exactly were they burning back there? 'Cause nobody lights up a backyard fire on court week for nothing. Not when subpoenas and audit files are on the line. Something's not adding up here. The footage says it all. On one side, you've got Kamal's car wash. Right next to it, the building where Tiffany allegedly stays. And in between them, a big grill posted up against the back wall, right beside a couple plastic tubs. That's where they dump the ashes once the fire's done. Now, what were they really trying to destroy? That's the question everyone's asking. And shout out to the person who caught it all on camera. Real MVP behavior. They noticed something wasn't right, pulled over, parked across the street, and hit record. That video might end up being key evidence later. If you zoom in, you'll notice the open gate, leading straight to the back stairs of the building. At first, it looks like a trash lid or random debris. But look closer, it's a wooden fence. And propped against it, that same big grill. Except nobody's cooking out. This isn't a weekend barbecue. It's a document bonfire. And that man standing there, poking the flames with a stick, that's Kamal. No doubt. You can tell by the way he moves. The posture, the stance. That's him, 100%. Now think about it logically. Who flips burgers with a stick? Nobody. That's not grilling. That's stirring. That's trying to move around whatever's burning inside without touching it. So the real question becomes, what was he stirring? Because it definitely wasn't ribs. Let's be real. If this video ever makes it into court, game over. The moment someone asks, what were y'all burning? And they can't come up with a solid answer, it's done. Especially when they were already ordered a hand over documents. You can't burn evidence and call it coincidence. But here's where it gets even crazier. That same person who filmed the fire, they went back the next morning. Yup. Came right back to the scene to see what was left behind. And what they found sitting inside that grill changed everything. Because when they went back and peeked inside that same grill, what did they find? A notebook spiral. Not melted plastic, not foil metal, still intact. And anyone who's ever burned paper knows. The pages vanish fast. But those spirals, they survive. Which means whatever was burning in that fire wasn't burgers or barbecue. It was notes, documents, records, pages filled with something important enough to destroy. Now tell me, what food comes with a notebook spiral inside? I'll wait. Exactly. None. That one detail alone tells you everything you need to know. They weren't grilling food. They were grilling evidence. Straight up. And if you look close at the footage, you'll spot that same ash tub sitting behind the building, the one where they dumped all the remains. That's the pattern. Burn it down to ash, dump the ash in the barrel, walk away clean. But this time, they slipped that spiral, the little metal clue they couldn't erase. Gave it all away, and wait, there's more. Because behind that same fence, there's something else. A sign, just lying there in the dirt. We don't know what it said or if it was meant to be torched too, but it's there, half hidden, half forgotten, like a leftover secret that didn't quite make it into the fire. And remember, this all happened days before court. Tiffany was already scheduled to appear on May 30th, and she tried to play slick by hopping on Zoom instead of showing up in person. The judge gave her grace. Just that once. But this next time, no more chances. June 6th. She's required to appear in person. And not just that, she's got to bring the very documents this entire mess is centered around. No more, I forgot. No more, I'll get them next time. If she doesn't turn them in, that's a $1,000 fine per day. Every single day until she produces the papers. Heavy consequences for someone who loves to act untouchable. But here's my take, and I stand on it. She'll show up because she has to, but those documents, I don't think they're ever showing up. Why? Because I believe they're already gone. Turned to ash in that grill behind Kamal's car wash. That notebook spiral, that's the last piece of the puzzle. The one thing they couldn't burn away. And when they swear her in under oath, no more ducking, no more spinning, just direct questions. And I bet she pleads a fifth from start to finish. Oh, that's my prediction for June 6th. You heard it here first. But now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts below. Will she get hit with a warrant? Will she show up and fake it with some newly found paperwork? Or will she double down and pretend nothing happened? Let's see who's really reading between the smoke signals. Because me? I'm locked in. I don't think she's bringing a single sheet of paper. I think it's all gone, turned to smoke and memory. And the only thing that survived? That spiral. That little twist of metal they forgot would live through the flames. Ask yourself again. Who in their right mind grills a notebook? Who fires up a stack of paper with a spiral in it and calls it dinner? Nobody. That's not cooking. That's covering up. But if you've got a theory, drop in the comments. Let's get this conversation jumping. Because one thing's for sure, this story, it's far from over.